Something very strange is going on with XRP, and it's pretty bullish when it's XRP ETFs, or more importantly, the escrow, and even companies being allowed to buy it. You know it's time to listen. I'm going to break it all down in this video, as well as giving you my view on what's happened with all those ETFs, all the market news, and where I think XRP could be going in the short term. Smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into it. Now, when it comes to the escrow, you know that everyone seems to have a view. The fact that we have token unlocks every single month, everyone always calls the fact that XRP is dumping, community's been sold on, and well, we're all going to zero. But finally, there's been a pretty interesting development and something I've been talking about here on the channel for months. Everyone thought I was crazy. David Schwartz, he is the CTO, or well, is about to be the ex-CTO of Ripple. And he has been talking about the fact that they may sell the rights for XRP locked into the escrow. Now, let's work through what this could mean and how this plays out into the financial markets. And oh yeah, by the way, what I've been talking about. So in early October, it was announced that David Schwartz would be leaving Ripple, but was moving into a more, let's say, advisory role in some other companies. Now, he is on record then of talking about what they do with the XRP escrow. And in the fact, David Schwartz basically has a couple of months left, but he has said this, that the company may sell the rights to buy XRP locked in massive escrow amounts. How does this work? Well, the fact is that Schwartz said there's 35 billion XRP locked in the escrow that can't be released, can't be changed. It ultimately is unlocked as part of the unlock schedule that everybody knows about that happens every single month. But the company may sell the rights or transfer the rights to receive XRP tokens to be unlocked in the future. How does this work? Let's say, for example, you agree a partnership with a rather large bank, hedge fund, treasury company, or whatever it is, and they agree to buy maybe, let's say, an OTC deal for a set amount of XRP. You could say, well, hold on a minute. In a month, this could all go through. Here are the rights of the XRP unlock coming from the escrow, and that would facilitate a way of, well, banks, massive financial corporations getting XRP without trying to buy it on the open market. This allows you to think and speculate the fact that this could therefore suppress price while banks and institutions get involved. The fact that, well, David Schwartz with a couple of months left comes out and says it, it's a very interesting statement. Now, this has obviously sent ripples, get it, around the markets as people believe that, well, the escrow is either a good thing or a bad thing. Now, you know, if you've been part of this channel, that I've been talking about the escrow and how this will all play out. If you haven't been part of the channel, that just means you're not freaking subscribed. So hurry up, click the subscribe button. But Schwartz made this statement during his community discussion that began after software engineer Vincent Van Code raised questions about how crypto data trackers report XRP's circulating supply compared to Bitcoin. Again, this could play out very interestingly and allows us to open up the discussion right now of what's happened recently. The 8K form specifically related to Evernorth Holdings and the Armanda acquisition code also plays into this whole escrow narrative. Why? Well, we know that Evernorth has now pretty much finished its $1 billion buy of XRP and supporting its XRP treasury company. Now, this also supports investors getting regulated liquid XRP exposure through this narrative. Evernorth's mission, accumulate and grow XRP per share through institutional and DeFi yield strategies. Sound familiar? Sounds pretty bullish if you ask me. And you can see here on the chart that XRP's Armand acquisition core 2 announcing the ticker symbol to change to XRPN on October 30th, 2025, in line with that Evernorth Holdings. And if you caught my video yesterday, I said it fell off that they were buying so much so quickly. Well, now it starts to play out. Then you look at, and it would be wrong of me not to talk about it, the Western Union stablecoin launching on Solana. Now, I know people are going to be in the comments going, "2bit, we told you XRPL was a waste of time." Let's break down exactly what it means. Yes, Western Union are moving to Solana, citing that, well, Solana is faster, it's more efficient, it's more secure, and it's more reliable than Ripple. Just so we're absolutely crystal clear, I don't believe the XRPL is shut down, but I think the Solana network has. Now, I want to be clear here, by the way, I'm also bullish on Solana, so don't think I'm hating on that, but it is important to reference, and more importantly, it is worth thinking about how this all plays out. Now, it is worth noting that when you look on the surface, you say, well, Western Union have made a pretty bullish move moving to Solana. It's the beginning of something huge in the markets, but like we always do on this channel, peel the onion skin back and you get the true deal that's actually gone on. So the reality is that, well, with this move from Western Union, it's actually come at a bit of a cost. Why? Well, the fact of the matter is that Solana paid Western Union around $50 million for a 6-month deal. And actually, we know that when Solana has in the past shut down, well, Western Union's payments simply go offline. The fact is that with Ripple's acquisition of Hidden Road, which is a $3 trillion annually company, and also G Treasury that deals in trillions of dollars of annual payment across 160 different countries, and Rail that's responsible for 10% of every single stablecoin-based payment globally, you kind of understand that, well, XRP isn't just a gimmick, and it probably isn't just about doing things cheap. It is the future of the financial global markets. And maybe it is a 6-month test to see what happens. Fact of the matter is, we know that there is a significant number of capital going to be on XRPL. This while at the same time that Ripple's 100-day OCC review for establishing the Ripple National Trust ends October 30th. Feels like that date is going to be a big one for everybody. And also XRP Ledger Exchange reserves on Binance, guess what? Dropped 2.74 billion XRP of the lowest levels in over a year. So that's Coinbase and Binance that now simply don't have enough XRP given what's coming. This could again support the narrative that maybe they're going to sell it out of the escrow. Maybe this is the way Ripple facilitate the movement of XRP out of that long controversial escrow program and into the hands of the financial markets. Pretty interesting indeed. So with all of that, where do we go to in terms of price and what does it look like? We know we've saw some capitulation in the markets, XRP holding up around 256. The fact is, we're probably not going to see anything until we see these ETFs. But think of this, Solana's ETF did $67 million on its first day. This could then significantly be doubled, maybe even tripled, as people believe that XRP has way more volume. $3, $3.5. All are relative, depending on what's coming. But certainly, in my opinion, as we start to push up in the market and sentiment returns, and hopefully the Fed doesn't rug us anymore, we're still looking for that push back above the 200 EMA, sitting around that 273, and then onwards to $3. So I'm still pretty optimistic, and I'm pretty bullish on what this week and the weekend could look like for XRP. And maybe, just maybe, we get those 8A filing forms that tell us XRP ETFs are here. As always, let me know what you think of all of this in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.